Greetings and welcome to this week's magical message. I pray that you all have been having a wonderful weekend, and I hope that your week is going to be just as wonderful. I hope that you all are ready for a really a week of growth, a week of real growth. I know it's been a minute since I got a chance to post and just kind of give you all the rundown for the week. I've had a lot going on, and we would definitely be talking about that in the next episode of Just a Sip. So if you all have not tuned in to any of those shows, definitely catch up. Me and my co-host, Ashe Marie, are just kind of giving you all a little bit of our conversation and just talking about different things that come up, especially topics that we don't really hear that much conversation on. So definitely tune in to that and stay tuned for the next one that's going to be coming up. We're going to go ahead and get into the reading. So our overall energy this week is really around our relational wealth. Looking at the Son of Baskets, the message is to get with you, to tune into you most especially. But you're also going to be paying attention to your relationships, period, both romantic and platonic, and just the way that you relate to things, period, in your life. And really on a deeper level, it's like this week is it's a deep dive. This week is really about getting with you on a serious level, because there are some things that are needing to be cleared. There are some new opportunities and spaces that we have been asking to be brought into and to be brought to us. And it requires something of us. And so this week, we're doing the work that is required of us to really step into these new spaces. Okay. So we're going to start this week off with the Father of Coins and Gullah Jack. Now, the Father of Coins comes with a plethora of wealth. Right? So much wealth. And at the same time, there's a certain responsibility and discipline to having this wealth, getting really clear about what you're doing, how you're doing it, what needs to be done, what's important, what's not important, right? And that's really going to require us to get quiet. And then the Gullah Jacket talks about, waiting, pausing, not rushing and pushing, right? Because it feels like there is a windfall getting ready to come. Right? We are coming into new money. We're coming into new opportunities where you're coming into our desires, manifesting fully. And most times, usually that's the time that we want to pick up and go shopping and go do this and take care of all the list of things we've had and this, that, and the third and all of the stuff that life asks of us. However, this week we're being asked to move forward in a different way. We're being asked, instead of moving forward in that logical sense of moving forward, we're being asked to move inward. Because this week is offering us the opportunity to change our lives around, period. And to do that, you have to get clear about what has to change. Most importantly, what has to change about you? What has to be cleared about you? So when you have the money come in, when you have the new resources, when you have the new relationships and the new just opportunities, period, coming to you, don't rush it. Don't jump and try to do all of these different things. Get quiet. Sit with yourself. Be in a space of gratitude, in a space where you are trusting your movement and who you are, right? But I'm also feeling like there are going to be some things shadow work, some things you're really going to need to release and heal and transform, because this is about the emotions. And it's not always talked about how the emotions and our money are, relate to each other. But when we are creating, when we're manifesting, it is calling on those emotions, because we have to make it real. When we talk about the reality that we live, it's also the reality that we're feeling, which is what makes it so real. And so if your emotions, if your mind is scattered, if it's all over the place, if it's out of balance, right? 9 times out of 10, your pockets are going to feel it. And so this week is giving us opportunity to change that, to change all of that, because it feels like some of this stuff has been things that have been going for a while. And so finally, you're having the opportunity to really, stop, wait, let's look at this. Let me see what it is about me that I need to shift and change so that I can create what I want in my world. I'm going to give you an example. So like I've been working on my own shadow work, my own personal stuff in terms of wealth and worth, right? They kind of go hand in hand. And one of the things that I realized, I happened to be looking at a picture of myself when I was younger. And one of the things that I realized is that I never got to a space as a child or even growing up, as a young adult. I never got to a space where I really felt like my world reflected me. I always felt like life was just kind of happening to me, and I was just kind of there, and without a lot of choice or ability to say yes or no, or this is good or this is not good. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And granted, I was experiencing a lot of other trauma and stuff at the same time. That feeling, that understanding, just kind of under the skin, under the surface, followed me. And I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize how deeply those feelings of not seeing myself, my own reflection in my world, right? My own reflection in what I was creating, the truth of that, not seeing that. I didn't realize how much that hindered me. I didn't realize how much it showed up and how much it was reflected in the relationships that I chose and in the opportunities I took and the ones I didn't take, right? I didn't understand how deeply that was still sitting until I saw this picture. And all of these emotions and these feelings from when I was younger just flooded back in. And it was like, oh my God, it was too much. I had to pray and go to sleep. It was a lot. But I'm getting into a space because I feel like I'm going through a space where I'm kind of mourning the woman that I would have been had I not had some of the experiences that I had. And at the same time, that morning, I don't feel bad in the morning. I feel like I'm just moving through, right? And so I've been in a reflective and quiet space recently, and I've been looking at how that has really manifested in my life, and it's wild, right? So this is a kind of work and a kind of self-conversation that you want to be having with yourself. You want to be asking yourself those things, because sometimes we won't ask certain questions because we're afraid of what that truth is. Sometimes we are afraid of saying, you know what, I got some stuff I need to look at. It's some real stuff there. Sometimes we're afraid to do that because of what we think it means about us. But the truth is we all have some things, right? More than one thing that we have to work on and that needs to shift and change about us so that we can become a better person. It has nothing to do with anyone else. But a lot of times we base whether or not we will or won't because of how other people feel or because we are afraid of what that means. Right? All the while, we're cutting ourselves off from ourselves, from our own potential, because we're unwilling to look at the person in the mirror, the truth of that person in the mirror, the good, not so good, and the straight up ugly. Right. And that takes a lot of self-accountability and responsibility. And, we know that not everybody is meant for that. But I pray and I really feel that if you're hearing this message, it's because you were meant to. It's because you're ready to take that leap and that step deeper into yourself, or you're already doing it and you just needed the confirmation that, hey, no, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right path. And even if it's heavy, I'm going to get through it because it's only me. Right. Not to belittle you, but you're you, right? You're you. You are everything you need, everything there's nothing going on with you that you cannot handle. And so trust that you got you and you have the ability and the power to look at you and to look at you with love and compassion. And yet at the same time, call yourself out on bullshit. Call yourself out on things that don't work anymore, on things that are toxic or things that are hurting you. Right? Whether we're talking about beliefs, whether we're talking about like your actions, whether we're talking about your emotions. It's going to be really important this week. Now, when we look at Dr. Grant for the middle of our week, it speaks to the same thing about getting quiet, about getting clear of who you are, what's going on, what is around you, what you're creating, what are you putting these new resources and this new wealth towards, right? The Father of Coins in the beginning of the week is bringing in these new opportunities, this new money, these new things. What are you going to do with them that's really going to make a difference in your life? What are you going to do with those things that's really going to turn your life and the lives of those who depend on you and the lives of those who are watching you around? And so this week is about getting quiet and sitting still with yourself and getting clear on what's required of you by you. What is required of you by you so that you can move in a way that is groundbreaking and transformative. Because if you're listening to this, then you are meant to do something different. You're meant to do something that's really going to leave your print. And not just for you, but for all those that are watching you and for the collective of energies coming together to do something different, right? And so we're going to end the week with the Free Man. And this is talking about opportunity, an opportunity that is not held in any particular structure, right? So allow your dreams to soar and know that you are going to be walking a path you have not walked before by the time this week ends. Whether you have done the necessary work so you're going in a direction that is amazing, or whether you are going down a path of war and battle within yourself in a deeper way that you have never experienced before. Either way, it's turning up. The ancestors are like, hey, it's time. The universe is like, it's time. Nature is like, it's time. It is time. Either you turn up for you, or you will spend however long battling and fighting you on some levels you have never experienced before. Because there is no gray area right now. Either you are a yes or you are a no. There is no moment to sit and just be like, I don't know. I'm going to be on the fence for right now. There is none of that happening. So this week, take the time to get clear. Take the time to get clear and really assess where you're putting your resources, where you're putting your wealth, where you're putting your values. Is that really where they should be based on who you are and what you truly desire and want and need in your life? All right? Because your life will tell on you. And not that anyone else will know, because you could be living a life that looks like it is the dream and you are miserable because it is still not the reflection of you. So be honest with yourself. Because if your life isn't looking the way that you want, it's not because of anyone else or anything else. It's because of you. And so it's you that has to make the shift. It's you that has to make the change, because somewhere along the line, even if like me, some of these things, and for a lot of us, for most of us, I'm pretty sure I'm willing to put some money on it. For most of us, these things happen when we were little. They happened before we even remember they were happening. And so they just kind of got swept underneath the rug, but we carried the rug with us. And so we took those things with us, even though we didn't realize it. And it impacted how we moved and how we thought, how we loved, what we valued, what we didn't value, the opportunities we took, right? So this week, get your mind and your heart together. Spend that necessary time with yourself and be ready to transform. Right? Don't hold yourself in any particular box. Allow yourself the freedom to discover who you really are, to discover what you really need and what you really want. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're listening to this, there's also an area of your life that you're very clear about that you would like to see some shifting, or there's an area within yourself that you know you need to look at because there's something that's not working. And when you tap into that, you're going to find that there's something more for you. There's something more that you need. And this week is going to give you all the opportunity, all of the resources, all of the things necessary for you to accomplish that. Yeah, it's just going to take you. It's going to take you doing what you need to do for you. So I want to leave us with just a simple affirmation. And the affirmation is, I am whole, I am happy, and I am at peace. Yeah. Or if you want to, you could put it as, I am happy, I am whole, and I am peace. So you really can take on that, right? Not just attach it, but you really are being that peace. So with that, I thank you all for tuning in. I thank you for listening again. We will get into kind of what's been going on with me over the last couple of weeks. In the next episode of Just a Sip, we'll be able to touch base with my co-host, Ashay Marie, and see what's been going on with her. I mean, it's been a lot going on, period. So I know that we'll have a lot to talk about. And so I look forward to that. I look forward to sharing with you all again, and make sure that you all like, subscribe, and follow. If you all want to leave a comment, if you want to email me about anything or book a reading, definitely send me an email. That is going to be down below, as well as a phone number in case you want to call and schedule a reading. And with that, I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk again next week. Bye.